Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to really getting up to ski on important stuff. And today, wow, we're diving into something huge, a real game changer for how our cities and communities might evolve artificial intelligence. We're looking at how AI isn't just some sci-fi idea anymore. It's actually starting to reshape our towns, our territories right now.
Yeah, and for this deep dive, our information comes straight from a pretty significant international meeting. It was called Repenser la ville et les territoires à l'UNRWA, which basically translates to Rethinking the City and Territories in Light of AI. So our job today, pull out the really key takeaways, the important bits, maybe some surprising facts from that discussion. We want to give you a clear picture of how AI is, well, likely to transform urban planning, and honestly, a whole lot more. It goes way beyond just the usual smart city talk. Okay, let's dig in.
Okay. So what really strikes you first, I think, from the colloquium's context, is just the scale of potential here. AI for planning, for managing territories. Especially, and this was a key point, in developing countries. They weren't just talking about AI as another tool. It was framed more as a catalyst,
It's a catalyst. How so? Like, can you give an example?
Well, imagine using AI not just to look at population density, but to analyze, say, real-time health data, traffic, even social media chatter about access.
Right.
To figure out the absolute best spot for a new clinic in a crowded city. It's about tackling those really complex urban problems, pushing towards sustainable development, and even sparking totally new research directions, new policies.
That paints a vivid picture. So when they set up this big international discussion, what were they actually trying to achieve? Like, what were the main goals?
They really zeroed in on three things, primarily. First, exploring AI's creative side in urbanism. So it's not just about making things efficient, but finding, new ways to design and think. Second, the practical angle. How can we use these AI tools right now to manage our cities better, more efficiently? And third, looking ahead, trying to anticipate future needs as AI gets, more powerful and more embedded in everything.
Okay.
So it's kind of a mix. Innovation, immediate use, and long-term thinking.
Right. And I found their structure helpful. They didn't just throw everything at the wall. They broke this massive topic down into four axes, they called it, themes. Let's unpack that first one. City governance through data. Now, my first thought is, okay, data's been around. What's the AI difference here? How does it really change things?
Yeah, good question. This theme wasn't just about more data. It was about AI's ability to handle massive and diverse data streams. Think, anonymized phone data, transit card swipes, energy grid fluctuations, drone scans of buildings, everything. But the key is how AI, using things like machine learning, can spot patterns, subtle things, inefficiencies, potential problems that a human analyst might just miss entirely.
Okay. Like what kind of patterns?
Well, they talked about optimizing citywide energy use, AI predicting peak demand in different neighborhoods, then automatically adjusting, say, streetlights or the heating in city buildings. Some pilot projects saw a 15–20% drop in energy waste, much more than just timers could do. So it really raises that question, how do city leaders actually use this data effectively, not just collect it?
That level of optimization is pretty impressive, 15–20%.
Right.
Wow. So once you have that efficiency piece, the next question which they tackled is crucial. How do we make sure these smarter cities are also fair, equitable? That brings us to Acts 2, AI for equitable and inclusive urban management. What came out of those discussions? How can AI help make cities work better for everyone?
This was a really compelling part of the discussion, I thought. It focused on how AI can actually uncover and maybe even help fix hidden inequalities in cities. We're talking about AI analyzing transit data to see which neighborhoods are poorly served, or maybe predicting gentrification hotspots before they really take off, even using map data and user feedback to check how accessible public spaces are for people with disabilities.
So it's finding problems we might not even see otherwise.
Exactly. There was one case study where an AI model helped redraw bus routes based on real-time demand from low-income areas. And it actually cut commute times significantly for those workers, improving their job access. So if you look at the bigger picture, it's about moving past assumptions, using tech proactively to make sure development benefits all residents, making social good part of the algorithm, you could say.
Making social good an algorithmic priority. I like that framing. Okay, shifting gears a bit. The third theme, use of AI-improved simulation models. This sounds like it really leans into AI's predictive side. How is AI making simulations better than, the traditional models we've used? What's the big leap?
Right. The leap is really from static to dynamic to responsive. Traditional simulations might look at, say, the impact of a new road, Pretty straightforward. But AI, especially with techniques like reinforcement learning or predictive analytics, it lets planners run millions of complex scenarios very quickly. They can factor in all sorts of real-world messiness, dynamic traffic that changes with weather or big events, climate projections, population shifts, even trying to model how people might behave differently.
Even behavior. How?
Well, one speaker mentioned, sort of jokingly, how AI could even account for the chaos of the school run on traffic, something older models really struggled with. So what this means is a city can test the knock-on effects of, say, a new metro line, how it might affect housing costs in different areas, or air quality, or social equity before they commit huge resources, and with much, much better accuracy.
Wow. So predicting the future city with way more detail. But what about the past? Our history, our culture. That's where the last theme, Acts 4, kind of surprised me. AI and scientific advances in museums, art, and heritage. This seems like a totally different area. How does AI fit in there?
It really does show how versatile AI is becoming. Its reach across disciplines. It's not just about, digitizing collections, although it's part of it. They talked about AI helping with the actual restoration of damaged artifacts.
Restoration. We love it.
Yeah. Like algorithms analyzing old paintings to suggest the best pigment matches for a conservator, or helping piece together shattered pottery by finding the most likely fits among thousands of fragments. And what's also fascinating is how AI can create new ways to experience culture. Imagine, like an interactive museum exhibit powered by AI. You could ask questions about a historical event, and the AI pulls together answers from vast archives instantly. Or AI could analyze huge data sets of art or ancient texts and maybe find connections, patterns that historians hadn't seen before. So it's about preserving, yes, but also understanding and making heritage more engaging, more accessible.
That's incredible. Preserving and interacting with history in new ways.
Mm-hmm.
This whole colloquium, it sounds like it was just packed with important ideas, really vital stuff for anyone thinking about cities, culture, or just, well, the future.
Absolutely. It felt like a very timely, very necessary conversation. And for anyone listening who wants to know more, it was organized by Le Laboratoire de Recherche UMRAN, that's UCAR ENAU. They collaborated with several others, like the Tunis International Center for Digital Cultural Economy and the Tunisian Young Urban Planners Association. It's actually scheduled for October 24th and 25th, 2025. We'll put the specific details, location, how to potentially get involved, all that in our show notes for you.
Great. Okay, so just to recap briefly, we've touched on this huge potential of AI, from, fundamentally changing urban planning with super detailed data, to designing fairer communities, predicting city futures with amazing accuracy, and even helping protect and understand our cultural history in new ways.
And it's worth saying again, this isn't just theory. It's happening fast. These developments have real implications for how we all live, how we work, how we relate to our environment, and our shared past.
Which leaves us, and you, our listener, with a pretty big question to ponder. Given all this power AI has to reshape our cities, to protect our heritage, what are the unexpected consequences? What societal shifts might happen as this tech gets woven deeper into our lives, into our communities? And maybe, what else might AI revolutionize that we haven't even thought of yet? Something to think about.